After his run-in with the soothsayer Tiresias in the underworld, it was prophesied that Odysseus would succeed in returning home. But he would still face nightmarish challenges before that. The sorceress Circe warned Odysseus of the dangers he would still encounter, but the Ithaca king preferred not to fully disclose them to his comrades, for he feared their hearts would be seized with dread. The first challenge was the Mermaids, hybrid creatures, but with an incredible power of seduction. Their song was irresistible to all who heard it, and attracted their victims to their damnation. Odysseus ordered his men to plug their ears with wax, so that they would be unable to hear anything at all. Favorable winds were driving them near the Mermaids' island. But Odysseus was gripped by curiosity, and wanted the opportunity to hear such irresistible singing. He ordered his men to tie him rigidly to the ship's mast, and even if he gave the order, his men would not release him until they were far from the island. Towering over the rocks, the beautiful mermaids sang and waved, attempting to lure the men to certain death. Scattered around them were countless bones of those who had been bewitched. Odysseus cried out for his men to free him and lead the boat towards the rocks, but they paid no heed to his orders. The sirens flattered the hero in their songs, who had achieved great things in the Trojan War, and promised to write songs that would make his deeds immortal. Odysseus pleaded with his men to set him free, but they only tied the hero even more strongly to the mast. It was only when they were already at a safe distance from the island that Odysseus's companions pulled him free. The king of Ithaca took a while to recover mentally from that desperate experience. But now they were faced with a deadly challenge, as they would encounter two of the greatest dangers of the ocean, Scylla and Charybdis. A gigantic whirlpool was attempting to pour all the water out of the seas. This underwater creature was trying to engulf any vessel that came within its reach. To avoid the monster, Odysseus ordered his men to steer the ship as close as possible to a cliff. However, nestled in a huge cavern encrusted in the cliff was Scylla, a gigantic, hideous beast. It had several heads and tentacles. Just the sight of it made the men desperate. The creature plucked the men from the ship's deck and tore them to pieces. Survival spirit was what kept the men rowing vigorously, avoiding being pulled by Charybdis and pulling themselves away from Scylla. Odysseus and his men dodged that death trap, but now they were only a handful of warriors when compared to the army that had traveled to Troy 20 years ago. Ahead of them lay the island of Thrinacia, the one which was to be Odysseus's last stopover before he could finally return home.